Hello, good afternoon. You're once more welcome again. Good morning, good afternoon from wherever you're watching. I once more welcome everyone again on board today. Yeah, it's a great day. It's a marvelous day, bright afternoon. So, just share this video if you're just joining. If you're watching, just share the video, subscribe when you share the video. Last time in the last video, it was just an introduction to professional development, and we said in this video today we are going to see how to make a career for yourself. We are going to learn how to be a boss of yourself. We are going to learn how to be able to make something for yourself out of nothing. Yes. So I will start by saying that first you need to trust yourself. Tell yourself, I can make it. Tell yourself you have no limits. I can make it. You can make it. Yes. Even the Bible says, I can make it. I can do all things. So none of us has an exception. We are all equal to the task. Yes. Just believe in yourself. Dream big. Be ready to pay the price and go for it, and you will get it. I want to start this video, like I said, it's 100% career development. But then we are going to be looking at a very, very important and sensitive topic. Yeah. Making a career for yourself. How will you be able to make yourself be the boss of yourself? How will you be able to be the boss that you've ever dreamed to be? Out of nothing, but by yourself. So I want to start this video by saying that we'll be starting our discussion with the situation whereby probably you've not yet discovered any talents, you don't have any formal training, you don't have any skill. Yeah. And as I go forth, I will say this, that nobody, no one, no man or woman should ever discourage you or tell you it is late for you or to tell you you cannot make it. Say no to that. Do not take that for a yes. Do not take that for a yes. But at the same time, you have to be smart and make hay when the sun shines. The time has gone past where we used to procrastinate. Now is the time to take the risk. Now is the time to take the risk and do it now. Get up, take a very positive risk, and pay the price. Yeah, we have two kinds of risk here, but I'm talking about the positive risk. A negative risk is this one that probably you could lend money and then mismanage it, and then that's a negative risk. But I'm talking about the positive risk here, that you pay a price and then you are able to be accountable to see the results. You are determined at every cost, to see the results. So you should be able to take risk. Don't be afraid. Fear for the unknown is not accepted in this business. Fear for the unknown is not going in this context, in this situation. You have to be strong. You have to have a positive mindset and be ready and prepared to take the risk. Of course, everything in life is a risk. Everything in life now is a risk. Even eating is a risk. Going to bed to sleep at night is a risk. Even making a friend or going to hang out with a friend is a risk. It is often said that no sweat, no sweat. No story, there will be no glory. If you don't work hard, nobody should fool you. Bible says, I will bless the works of your hands. You should have something doing and you will be blessed. So I just want to encourage someone out there, and it's my prayer that this video becomes, or it should be a blessing to someone. So I just want to encourage somebody that go out there, leave your comfort zone, leave your closet, leave your house, take a step of faith. Of course, the Bible says faith without works leads you to death. So time has come where you need to forge ahead. You need to move on. You need to get up. You need to get up. So get up, go out there, look for information. It is either you are informed or you are deformed. It is either information makes you strong or information breaks you. Let me tell you something. Yesterday is too jealous. Yesterday is too jealous, and it won't give way for tomorrow. It is too jealous to give way for tomorrow. And remember, if you don't take this risk now, be ready that all the destinies attached to you will perish if you are not ready to take this risk now. So tell yourself, this is the time. Tell yourself, this is the time. Be ready to make God first, the Omega in your life, before you become the Alpha. Oh yes, we must be ready. This is one of the things that's killing us young people. We are not ready to pay the price. So we must be ready to pay the price. We must be ready to pay the price. Information will give you, the information will enlighten you on so many things to do. Information will give you the possible keys that you need for transformation. Information will give you the gateway for success. You need information. So leave where you are. Seek to get information. Seek to be informed, and you shall never remain a slave to yourself and to your destiny. So seek to get information. Remember, a fool, the first fool is not a fool, but the second fool is the biggest fool and will be a fool forever. So the knife is in your hands. But I came this afternoon to encourage you, to encourage someone. To encourage someone. Never you remain an ex-champion. You might have tried last time or before you failed. Keep trying. There's no harm in trying. All great people have once failed. All big people today have failed in one way or the other. As a matter of fact, failure becomes an asset if it is recurrent. It becomes an asset because from your failures, it is being transformed. The pain is being transformed into a life lesson, such that when you give somebody an advice in the form of a sentence, it becomes a life lesson for the person because of your experience. So it is not, it is, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to try because you don't want to fail. No, failure is part of the process to success. It's a part of the way to process. And let me also say this. Jobs will not take you anywhere. Will take you nowhere. Jobs will take you nowhere. Skills can take you somewhere. Skills can take you somewhere. And your profession can also take you somewhere. So it's not all about getting a job. Have a skill. This is what is going to help put food on the table. This is what is going to help you feed your family. Have a skill. Everybody that's succeeding today have a story. Success means what? The word success. Let me split it down for us. S means what? See your goals. The second U means what? Understanding the obstacles. We shall all make obstacles in our lives in one way or the other. C means creating a positive big picture in your head. And the next C, not clear your mind of self-doubts. Do not have doubts. If you want to succeed, clear away doubts. Do not give space. Do not give room for negative energy. Do not give room for negative influence from people. Do not carry arresting factors on your way to success. Otherwise, you will not get to your destination. E means embrace the challenges when they come. We must be able to embrace these challenges when they come. And of course, S means stay on the track. There are a lot of distractions out there today. Many, many, many distractions in the form of friends, in the form of social media. Just be disciplined. Employ some discipline, self-discipline, determination, and you shall make it. And then S is the last S word. Show the world that you can do it. This is what makes you and I a man. Yes. You see, it's a bit unfortunate that we all come, especially some of us who come from the part of Africa, from Africa. It's a bit unfortunate that we come out from a background, with an educational system that is designed to perpetually make us free, that is perpetually, designed to keep us in bondage and to make us slaves. Oh yes, our educational system is a deliberate scam. It is an educational system that has deranged a whole generation. It has fooled a whole generation. And it's even worsened by our policymakers. I'm sorry to say this, but it is the truth. This has further been worsened by our policymakers. And another people who have just completely paralyzed the whole thing. There are some of these our school counselors when we used to be in school. These are people who receive money. They come to school every day. They just sit in their offices. They replace their skill, supervisory, skill building, roles for students with drinking beer. It's so sad. It's so sad. But then we need to move forward. We need to move forward. And this is the time to move forward. This is the time to move forward. So their jobs were actually supposed to create a future world for youngsters where they will strive to succeed, and closing the gaps between the students' weaknesses and their strengths in relation to lifelong economic changing trends in order to meet up the needs and the expectations of the society. This is just a common role for them. Oh yes. But unfortunately, it is what it is. So time has come for us to take the bull by the horn. We have to do this. Yes. So for this reason, we need to grow up. We need to grow up. We need to grow up from this scam. We need to grow up. This is a deliberate scam. This our educational system is a deliberate scam, which only empowers us and makes us to be beggars, to be professional beggars, to have that idea, that mindset, to kill our self-esteem, and to have that mindset that we cannot do it, we cannot amount to anything. I say no to that. I say no to it. Before we move into our real subject, I just want to encourage someone there that it is not late. You can make it. You are able to make it. You can do it. You can do it, and you can do it. Oh yes, we can do it. All the century, all this generation, the garbage put in. There is the garbage in, garbage out. The whole of this generation have gone to school, to the nursery school, to the primary school, high school, university, but there is nothing we can tangibly show. This is what I'm talking about. It has been a deliberate scam to make us understand that we shall forever be dependent on other people for survival. Time has come where we need to stand up and take the bull by the horn to take our destinies in our own hands. To take our destinies in our own hands. Because if we keep doing the same thing, we are going to keep having the same results. If we continue doing the same thing, we are going to keep having the same results. We have the skills that can enable us. We have the keys that can enable us create a sustainable, long-term, career for ourselves and for our families. So I just want to encourage someone now that the time is now for us to stand up. And the time has also come for us to stop blaming our parents. We need to stop blaming them. or some of parents who were not able to send their children to school well. They were because of some constraints that they were facing at that time. But then, this is the advent of information. We need to stand up, pick up some of our bits that were broken and shattered, pick up some of our challenges and move forward. We need to move forward. So no matter where you are now, it is the time for you to get up and take the risk before it's too late. All risk and success procedures are the same no matter where you go. All risk and success procedures are the same in Africa, in America, in Australia, in Europe, anywhere you go. They are the same procedures. You take, you will succeed. They are the same procedures. If you don't take, you will fail. You will fail. Yes. Not even your certificate will help you. Sometimes, not all the time that certificate can give you food, can put food on the table. Not all the times. Yes. So even you are just having only, probably, maybe you didn't go to school, or maybe you just have only your college certificate. It's fine. Or maybe you didn't go to school. It's fine. We are here to learn. We are going to learn. We are going to share information on how you can live from grass to grace. You can live from local to international. You can live from an employee to an employer. You be the boss of yourself. This is what we are talking about. Yes. So there are two factors responsible for transformation for any man, any individual that wants to grow. There are two watchwords. There are two things you need to have at the bottom of your mind. One is called your teachability index. Your teachability index here has to do with your ability to learn. If and only if you understand that you need to learn and you make up your mind to learn, you shall be highly knowledgeable. And if you have the passion to change, it means that you shall have knowledge and you have the ability to change. It shall set you on the stage. It shall put you on the right place. So, like I said before we begin, we're about to begin, but I just wanted to encourage someone to say, hey guy, it's not late. Hey my sister, hey my brother, it is not late. It is not late to pick up your pieces, your broken pieces, and rebuild, reconstruct your life again as we move on. Now, let me say this. Our problem back home has two components. Summarily, our situation, our problem back in Africa has two components. It has the wind side of the storm. I call it a storm. It has the wind side of the storm, and it has the water side of the storm. It's a little bit unfortunate that for years, our parents, our policymakers have been concentrating, they have been working in failure. They have been working in failure, concentrating on the water part of the storm, rather than concentrating on the wind part of the storm to solve the problem. It is the wind that empowers the water to be boisterous. This is how our problem of Africa is. Mismanagement and a lot of things. But we thank God we have this information today where we are going to sit back, pick our broken pieces, and we move forward. It is the only way out. It is the only way out, because time is coming that they will depend on us for survival. Time is coming where there will be opportunities. But ask yourself, what will happen if the opportunity comes one day and you're not ready? You shall remain a fool forever. This is what we are guiding against. So coming to our own part of the world, where we come from, in Africa particularly, we shall be examining how to make something out of nothing. Like I said, now we are looking at how to make something out of nothing. I said nobody should discourage you, even if you have not gone to school, even if you just went to primary school, maybe you just went to college, or you didn't have the opportunity to go to the high school, or to the university, or to a professional school. No, leave it. We are here to share information that will make us change, that will transform our mentality and make us change in our perspective. Yes. Now, I want you to know this. Your purpose, there is something we call purpose. Your purpose or your calling It's anything that you have the ability to do it without stress. It might be something that other people find a lot of difficulties, hardship, constraints to do. But once you set your hands to do it, you find that it's going so smoothly. You find that you don't have this stress that other people might be complaining to you is easy to go. You find that you don't suffer. You don't encounter challenges. You don't encounter obstacles doing some of these things. You don't struggle to do it. There is no stress. This is your calling. This is your passion. This is where you are called to serve. Yes. It could be, for example, it could be a particular skill pertaining to a particular skill, like maybe mechanic, for example. It could be maybe teaching. It could be a nurse. It could be many other things. You have a lot of skill professions. But what I'm saying, for you to be able, we are already going into the depth of what we are trying to say this afternoon. This is the first thing. You have to know what is your purpose, your calling. What are you really actually called to do? What is that skill? What is that thing that God has put to you? What is that skill that your talent that God has put to you? So for you to be able to know this, one way is that what? Think rationally. What are some of those things? What is that particular thing that when you do, you realize that it's very, very easy? You realize that there are no problems on the way. You don't encounter problems. It just goes smoothly. And it is evident by what? A license, a certificate. Yes, it is evident. If, for example, it's a skill, you want to learn it, you learn it so fast, and then you pick up the certificate. It becomes your purpose. So we need to know this as we move forward. So if we can identify this, we can easily start from there, and the journey will be very, very easy. The journey will be very, very, very smooth. Now, there are 3 forms of skills here. Let me just highlight it as we move on. There are 3 forms of skills here, and there are many kinds. There are 3 forms of skills, and there are many kinds of other skills. Now, these forms are one, born or natural skills. Number 1, we said born or natural skills. These are skills that they are inside of the child from birth. For example, you can give birth to a child, and you realize that the child grows up and suddenly likes taking the spoon, hitting every pot, that's already a skill. It's an instrumentalist already. There's no magic that needs to reveal this to you. So the next kind of skill we are looking at here is what? Inherited skills or talents. These are skills that can come from father, to their children. For example, their father could be a pastor, and realize that as you are growing up, all of a sudden one of your child suddenly develop interest and start speaking the microphone. These are the second kind of skills we are talking about. And the third kind of skill is what? Self-acquired skills or developed skills or talents. Yes. This can also be obtained in vocational centers depending on your environment. So these are some of the skills as we're going ahead. Let's just take note as we're going. Now you need to do all these things and identify where you belong. You need to understand all this and identify your skill set to actually know where you are, and then it will be made easy. The journey will be made very, very easy. Like I said, educational certificates do not put food on the table. No, not all the time they can put food on the table. So when you trace this and you know your skill level, it becomes easy as we are moving forward now. Now your skill will make your skills, like I said, can take you to somewhere. Your talents can take you to somewhere. Your profession can speak for you, but educational certificate cannot speak for you. What we are talking about here is what? Skill acquisition. It's very, very important. Now, this study is divided into 2 parts. Part 1 is talking about what? Those who already have born skills, natural skill sets. This is the first factor we'll be talking about. And the second factor we'll be talking about is how to develop them and make a career for yourself. Now this is 1. This is A and B. Now part 2 is going to be talking about what? Those who have not yet identified some of these skills. Those who have not yet understood some of the skill sets that they have. So we are going to show them, we are going to be discussing on how to, to be able to understand the things that you can do to be able to make you know that you have some of the skills, that you have some skills. Yeah. So we are going to see how you can do what you need to do to build up skills that you need, the most cherished skills that you need, and how to sustainably, manage them, to make a career for yourself and for your family, to be a boss on your own. Now let's start with part 1. Guys, share the link. If you watch this video, please help to subscribe and you share. If you watch this video and you are encouraging this mission, this vision, share, subscribe, and you share. Now let's begin part 1. Those who already identify their born skill set, we shall learn how to develop it, and not, and we shall learn how to develop it and make it operational. Make it operational, situating it to a particular profession, so they'll be able to, excel and make a career in that domain. Let's not be Confucianist. Don't be that kind of person that, see, he likes to be a teacher, you like to be a pilot, you like to be a mechanic, you like to be this. No. You need to concentrate on a particular skill set, develop it, upgrade yourself, and you make yourself prosperous. You'll be a resource person. So this is what we are talking about here. Now, let's note this. School or education in life, school or education in the life of a child just has one role, one function. What is the function of a school or education in the life of the child? It helps you and I to be able to nurture good behavior. It helps in building positive behavior and good manners. But hardly will it take us far. No. Skills will take us far. It's unfortunate, I don't know if by now skill acquisition programs or curriculums have been introduced in our schools back in Africa. If that has been done, we thank God. That's it. So as parents, we must be mindful. We must be keen. We must observe and watch keenly as our children are growing up. We need to watch critically to observe the kind of skills that they have. We need to observe to be able to identify the kind of skills that they have. So when we understand and we see some of these skills, we need to nurture them. We need to groom them. We need to develop them. Natural skills have been proven to give the highest results and they are most efficient. Natural skills are known to produce very, very high results and are known to be efficient. Yeah. Now, I would like us to run through some of the things, some of the signs that we might see, that you and I can see in ourselves, we can see in the life of our children, and they will be able to understand the kind of skill set that's insinuating. When we see some of these signs, we'll be able to know, oh, this child has this skill, I have this skill, I have this skill. So we'll be able to develop it. The very, very first one here, there are some kids who who grow up and start using spoons, like I said. They are fond of drumming, every time drumming. You don't need to use magic to tell you that this child like this is an instrumentalist. So when we identify such a skill, we just need to start thinking of how to develop it. Make the child develop this skill and the child will excel. There's one thing with skill acquisition. Once you develop your skill to a very higher level, you become relevant. But if you leave it at the local level, there's a time that you will lose relevance. You become insignificant. Number two, there are some kids who like touching a lot of things. There are some kids who like touching a lot of things. They like to touch things to discover. They like to break appliances to check, just to see, touch, and then they cover. They like to discover. Most of these children are technicians. Yeah, there are technicians. So once we identify this, like I said, we just need to start thinking of how to develop them. Number three, there are some kids who like picking up, I've talked about picking up forks and spoon. We finished that. Now there's some skills who also like opening papers and putting them in front of them and just looking at them. And they are so inquisitive. They want to discover what's on the paper. You just need to understand that these ones at least they will like reading. They might be teachers. They might be teachers. They might be preachers. They might be teachers. Then those that, for example, you see after some time they start developing, maybe their father or maybe some relatives, are men of God. You realize that they just grow without any person teaching them, and they just start picking the spoon, blah blah blah, start making noise. They're already preachers. Once we see some of these skills, we need to develop them. We need to develop them. We need to develop them. Now there are some other skills who like, they like calculating. They always like solving. They are mathematicians. There are many other skills. The other skills in children. There are many other children who like to, they always like to draw. They always like to take a pencil. They just like to draw. They like to do coloring. Those are arts guys. People who do artwork. Yeah. And then there are also some kids who always like to push others, to always like to be in front. Amongst their brothers and sisters, amongst their peers, they always like to be in front. They always like to be in front. These are leaders. These are leaders. Once we identify these skills, we just need to develop them as parents. We need to develop them. Now, after we have identified some of these skill sets in our children, before even they get to primary school, or maybe in the primary school, or maybe in the college level, even if they did not go to school, the next thing we need to do is, we don't need to worry. The next thing we need to do is to introduce the WH5 questions. We need to introduce the WH5 questions. What are the WH5 questions? Whom am I? You ask yourself, if it's you, whom am I? Next, what can I do? Number 3, where can I start? Number 4, when can I start? Number 5, how can I go about it? Number 6, why do I need to do what I need to do? Because you need to do something. So why do I need to do what I need to do? You must ask these questions if you are the one. And then all these questions will open your head. All these questions will launch you into your next level now. This is the right way to follow. Identify any skill, seek to develop it. Once you develop it from there, you shall have a way forward. So from here, the next level is what? Professionalization. Professionalization. What is professionalization? It simply means what? Acquiring formal education. Once you develop this skill, make it formal. Formalize it. Go to any formal education, any formal educational institution around your environment who is offering this skill set training. Go and acquire formal training. Upgrade these skills from a local skill into a formal skill. This is professionalization. It simply means getting yourself, trained, making these talents formal, upgrading yourself from local to, being a resource person with an evidence of a certificate or a license. Yeah, this is professionalization. So once you do this, you realize that you become so relevant. In this way, you shall be formally recognized as a skilled person in that field. You shall be recognized as a resource person in that field, and references will be made to you. So it means that if it is in the field of a mechanic, you shall be referred. Because before you go through this training, you must have acquired the necessary support that you need to be strong and effective in that particular skill set that you can do. So this will make you very, very good, and it will also make you to be able to give counsel. Like you'll be a resource person. You'll be able to offer advice. You'll be able to counsel others as far as when it comes to this particular skill set. This is very, very, very important. Now here it really depends. Also, it depends also on your locality. It depends also on your environment. Some community, in some environments we don't have. If you have a professional institute in your environment or your community where you stay, oh, good for you, very good for you. Or if you have money to maybe travel out to maybe any other place, get into a professional school, formalize your training. It's going to be good. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be excellent. Yes. So some people say you can acquire training online. I don't really advise this. I am not against distance study. I've done a lot of them. I am not against distance study, but I am against the fact that you are going to just spend your money. Yes, you are going to have the certificate, but you will have problems when it comes to proving it. You will have problems when it comes to discharging, effective discharge of these functions. You shall be limited because they're going to just send you videos you watch online, explanations. If you don't have maybe the facilities around for you to maybe go for an internship, you will be found wanting. You will have the certificate, but you will not have the skills, the necessary skills to back up the paper that you have. This is what we are saying. So professionalization is so important. Now you can also be mentored. You can also look for a mentor. You can look, there are a lot of mentors online. You can look for a mentor. You can be mentored. You can be taught some of this. These skills. You're also good to go. It just depends. You have a lot of mentorship programs also, and most especially if it is accepted in your community. If the certificate is accepted in your community, and if the skill sells in your community, you can go in for a mentorship program in your field, and this will empower you, and you'll be set. You'll be willing to sell. Yes. Some people may say that study, like I said, distance study. Well, it just depends. Me, I don't buy that. I don't really go in for that. So they will just collect your money and do all that. So we are done with the first part. We are done with the first part. We have encouraged ourselves. We have seen how we can identify skills of a child. We have seen how you can identify your skill, whether you went to school or you didn't go to school. So we have seen part one, which is what? Inborn skills or natural talents. We have named them, we have seen how we can identify them, and we have seen how we can professionalize them. It is only when we do this that we are sure to make a career for ourselves, that we are sure not to disappoint the many destinies, the many children that are depending on us. We are sure to be the boss of yourself. You are sure to have your office on your own, and you are sure to have financial freedom. So this is the first part of the program. This is the first part of the teaching. If you like this video, share. In our subsequent videos, we are going to tackle the next skill set, which is what? The next skill set that we said in part 2, which is people who have skills but they don't even know that they have, or how you can possibly make skills from your little background of education you have, how you can professionalize it and transform yourself until you're a master of yourself. Please, if you watch this video, subscribe and you like, and God will bless you. See you in the next video.